So I did manage to play DriveClub during Eurogamer, and I have to say it's probably one of the best racing games, probably one of the best games of the show. And visually, it looked fantastic. Let's just get that out of the way, because a lot of people, you know, some people were actually disappointed by it, but a lot of people are blown away by how fantastical this game is sounding to look and so on. It is looking fantastic. Now, my only complaint with the visuals would be the anti-aliasing, and I believe they've added a new model since this, because I believe this is the Gamescom build, if it's not, it's the E3 build, which are quite early builds, and they added an anti-aliasing build, but they added the anti-aliasing onto it just after Gamescom, I believe. Especially they demonstrated it with the night video that they were showing. So the game is looking fantastic, visually outstanding, probably the best, easily the best looking racing game I've ever seen, and probably among the top of the visual scale when it comes to you know, games as a whole, even on PC. And I know that sounds like I'm asking for much, but coming from a PC and console gamer, there you go. You know, that's my opinion on it. The anti-aliasing is the only thing that I noticed that put me off slightly. So the first thing you'll notice is me cocking up. The handling model is slightly strange, especially when you're coming up to a first corner, because normally you just put your finger down, or if you're using a steering wheel, your foot, and you would go beast around the corners and then brake when you need to. This is not what you should do on DriveClub. Let me tell you that now. The amount of times that I and my friend and I saw other people cock up on corners the first time they played is because they don't expect the handling model that we got with DriveClub. It's something new and different, but it feels more simulation than it does arcade, which is good in my opinion, because in the way that the cars handle, once the arse of the car is out, it is out, and you need to learn to control that car specifically, because I believe that all cars will feel different as such, and so on. So the sense of speed is definitely there. I've noticed some games recently don't really have the sense of speed that you're going, but the speed is definitely noticeable in DriveClub, and especially when you go up to a corner and you don't realise how fast you're actually going, and then you cock up the corner quite a bit. So out of all the racing games on the show, this is probably one of my favourite. Overall, it is just the well-built one, and the demo actually well put together. That was probably one of my biggest complaints about Eurogamer. The demos did feel a bit thrown together at last minute. They didn't really seem to be well done. They seemed to be, you know, oh, we need to make a demo for a games conference, let's just throw it together, which Rivals did feel thrown together, as well as mainly the third-party ones. Exclusive ones did seem put together well for demonstration, and they're probably the ones I enjoyed a lot more because they were put together well, which I'll get into detail with the others when I get into them. So obviously I did try the DualShock with this and trying a new console altogether, because I don't obviously own a PS4. Sony should hook me up early, you know. But they do help with the idea of me not being able to control the car as well, because it's a new controller, it's a new feel for the controller. Probably, I can't think if this was my first try on the PS4 or if it was my second. I think it was my first, but you can probably tell it was my first go with new platform, new controller, and new handling model. This is a perfect game. I would recommend to pick this up. I am definitely going to be picking this up so I can do, you know, more in-depth stuff with it when I actually get it. One other thing as well was the social integration things at the bottom of the screen. A lot of people did seem to complain about those, and I don't know what happened there. Must have been some kind of invisible wall. The notifications that pop up saying how well you drifted, you know, points and so on, to compare to other people that have played the game before you. I like this. A lot of people thought it was too in your face. Now, take this from a YouTuber that plays and watches other racing games. So when I am playing a racing game, I look at the road ahead. I do not look anywhere else on the screen. If you are watching a racing game, you will look everywhere else. You look at the surroundings, you look at the pop-ups on the screen, you look at everywhere. That is not the case when you're actually playing yourself. So you will notice the pop-ups when you're watching someone, but when you're playing, you do not notice them. They're not in the way unless you want them to be, unless you're looking in that area to see what you are doing points-wise, which is what I like. It is how I want it. And I hope to see more of that working, because I did, as well as wanting to beat people's times, I actually kind of went oh, maybe I could beat their drift as well, and that kind of puts you into a really competitive mode, and it'll make, you know, replay value for the tracks a fantastic amount of, you know, put a fantastic amount in there than what you'd normally get with a racing game, because normally it's just shave off seconds with your time. You can do that, or you can try and beat all the drifts and do the, you know, shaving seconds off the time, or, you know, getting through this gap at a certain time as well. And I just really love the social feel of this game. One thing I really wish that did demonstrate though is the club, you know, idea behind the game. It would have been nice if you could have maybe 4v4 at the booth, working together, doing races together on the same track. Obviously 4v4 not literally working together, but, you know, 2 teams against each other, going, you know, at it. But anyway, this was probably the most solid build of a demo at the whole of all the racing games at Eurogamer. I'm definitely going to be picking this up, and I can't wait to feel the new handling model. Especially, it's probably going to be one of the first PS4 games I play of my own PlayStation 4, and I'm really excited for it. You know, this is probably one of the better racing games during Eurogamer, and I will be following this a lot. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, leave your thoughts below, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Peace.
Yeah, so what do you think?
It's good.
It's good.
I'll just say it's good to everything.
In comparison to the other two, like The Crew and Need for Speed Rivals.
Better than Rivals. I like it, but I'm more a fan of
Yeah,
street racing. So.
Yeah.